In this first video, we're going to talk about the concept of given a function, how it moves left and right and up and down. So let's first start out with, let's just look at the graph of y equals x. That's the graph of y equals x. If I graph y equals x plus 1, that takes this graph and it moves it up one place. Yeah? All right? So when you add a number to your y value, it moves it up. Or if you subtract a number from whatever this is, it moves it down. All right? Now keep in mind that instead of y, we could write f of x. Right? Now, kind of a little bit of a refresher on functions. What is f of if let's say we have this. F of x is x squared minus 3x plus 2. All right. What is f of, let's do x minus 1? All right. Remember that this notation means we go back to f of x, and wherever there's an x, I plug in x minus 1. So this means I go back to f of x right here, I plug in x minus 1. Right there, I plug in x minus 1. And then I have plus 2. All right. So that's a little bit of a refresher on the idea of functions and function notation. This explains how it moves up and down. To use a function, if we had y equals f of x, and that could be any graph at all. It doesn't matter what the graph is. Let's say it's this. If I graph y equals f of x plus 3, it's just going to take this graph of f of x, it's going to move the whole thing up 3 places. So it would look something kind of like this. If this is y equals f of x, and this is our xy plane here. If this is our y value, then this would be 1, 2, 3 values higher. This graph would be y equals f of x plus 3. Now another thing I just want to point out is notice the difference between this notation. Let me erase some of this because it's looking a little sloppy. Notice the difference between this and this. All right, 2 big differences. This notation means, and then if we have y equals f of x, that's our original graph, this will move the graph of this up 3 places. This means we go back to f, and wherever there's an x, I plug in x plus 3. So we need to understand the difference in these notations. All right, in the next video, so that's this we can see, when we add 3 to any function or add a number, it moves the whole graph up. If you subtract, it moves it down. The next video, we're going to talk about how does a graph move left and right.